Welcome to Conversations Live. For more than a decade, we've brought you the best in books, entertainment, and current events. When the movers and shakers of the world have something to say to you, they say it to us first. And now, celebrating 15 years of broadcasting, here's your host, Cyrus Webb.
And welcome back, everyone, to Conversations Live. I'm your host, Cyrus Webb. Glad you all could join us once again, whether you're tuning in on the radio dial in Mississippi at WYAD 94.1 FM. We welcome you all back to our program. Also, those tuning in through our online affiliates around the world, including our iHeartRadio family. We're glad to have all of you with us as well. I'm joining you guys live today from Los Angeles. I'm in town getting some amazing conversations ready for you guys, but I'm excited to be able to talk to someone who's actually from my home area that I first was able to meet, named author Floyd Williams. Floyd is an author who's now celebrating his fourth book. It's called The Book of Self, a Thesis on Energy and How It Interrelates. We'll talk to Floyd not only about this book, but also what it's been like for him through the journey as he's gone from books 1 through 4, what it's been like for him to realize his own personal power and strength and his influence, and what it's been like for him to share that with all of you. If you're just hearing about the book, we'll let you know at the end of our segment how you can stay connected with Floyd and get your own copy of it. But Floyd, hello to you and welcome back to the program.
Yeah, welcome, and thanks for having me. And greetings to everybody out there in the listening audience as well.
Amen. We appreciate you joining us once again. Well, Floyd, you have definitely been through a journey, both physically as well as, of course, as we've been able to see through this book. I mean, you have moved from Mississippi where you and I initially met each other now, but you still, of course, continue to impact people, not only online as we've been able to stay connected, but now through your new book. What has this journey been like for you, Floyd, as you kind of think about where you started with book 1 to now where you are with this new book? What has that experience been like for you to reflect on?
Well, that's almost like a loaded question being posed to me because my past and is just so diverse, and the journey has been equally as diverse. Especially it just really everything that represents an evolution. On my part, a growth and, transformation and just transmutation. And, my whole life just represents, my whole life for me has been, and I think it's the same, I think it's just universal. My whole life has just been pretty much, a struggle of me really just embracing my path, embracing, my purpose. Even though having feelings of knowing what it is, sometimes you still just don't fully embrace it, and come to the path at that particular time because, time is different and time is funny. It doesn't operate in accordance to way that we would like it to operate or think that it should operate. When you send something out to the universe, and you're trying to will things into existence, the universe time or the source time is different from our time. So what I'm saying is everybody has their own unique journey and everybody has their own epiphany and moment when that light bulb goes off for them to cross over and make a certain switch and come into another capacity and into another transformation. An arena that they're supposed to be operated in to make a difference. So for me, at first, and still my whole life, it still had just been sacrifice because even with the first 3 books, the Unspoken Truth, the Origin of Racism, and the Holy Black Papyrus, I still was giving myself away and giving myself energetically. Because I still was focused on sacrifice. I still was focused on being altruistic. I still was focused on, social justice. I still was focused on the greater good of everybody else and still putting everybody else first, except for really taking care of myself how I should. But at that particular point in my life, Black power, liberation, and struggle is still a part of me, but that was what I needed to be doing at that particular time. So at that point, stage of my life, I compare that to the furnace. I compare that to being in the furnace. That period of purging, that period of heat that's necessary for refinement and deep cultivation to really get you grounded and prepared for that what is to come. The universe and energy, just because you set your mind and your intention on something that's good, you want to stay focused on it. But before it gives you what it is you was asking for, or give you what it is you are envisioning, the universe, the source, God, creator, however you identify with the supreme being, the deity, once is going to examine your being, is going to examine your heart to see if you are qualified, and needs to know, even though it's already all knowing, but you have to go through a cycle and a process for you, the individual, could be firm in it and know this is precisely what you want to do. So it's really a trial to make sure that you are true, make sure that you are prepared, and to bring out the best in you, to give you the tools to be equipped. And so what I'm explaining is that the process that I went through from the beginning of my journey to where I am now was necessary to give birth to the entity and the person that I am today. So everything was designed to heighten my senses, make me more sensitive, make me more aware, make me more more of an empath, more empathetic, and just to make me more sensitive and transcend, even more, so that I actually can connect and relate more and actually just see myself as being a healer. So now I believe I am where I need to be, which is operating in the realm truly of pure light, universal consciousness, and just operate from a real point of view of oneness and interconnectedness, and just trying to just heal, and trying to really use the energy to heal people and just raise the vibration of the planet, because that's what it's all about, raising the vibration of the planet, raising the consciousness of the planet. And because nothing happens or transpires before then. Something has to open up the mind. Something has to touch the being. And it's the same way we're dealing with creation. The universe or the earth didn't start spinning and become what we know it to be until the light struck it, until the light hit it.
Yeah. It's hearing you talk, which is why I didn't want to interrupt you, Floyd. I mean, I think, I have had a great deal of respect for you since 5 years ago when you and I first met. I don't know if you remember, in the parking lot of Walmart in Pearl, Mississippi, with Treasure Blue. That was the first time you and I had met in person. But the reason I had such respect for you is because of the fact that you seem to be, and even now so, I think more so, you seem to be so in tune with yourself and confidence of self. Where do you think that confidence initially comes from? Because there's so many people, as you know, that are out there. They can't be the best of themselves because, one, they don't believe that they're capable of being great. But where does that belief in oneself come from for you?
Well, that belief in myself primarily comes from me. I have to give honor to I really would have to give honor to our ancestors and just our history collectively as a African American people. We are totally built where people are totally built on spirit, where people are totally built on power, where people are totally built on resilience, okay, and perseverance, okay. So the ancestors, the spirit, and when I reflect on the past struggles of certain people in certain eras and periods, what it is they endured is most definitely motivating and encouraging. Just from that, I can see, it's nothing that I can't overcome. It's nothing that, I can't do. And then reflecting on, what is inside of me, just knowing what is inside of me, you know, knowing that what I'm looking at, that which is around me, that which is living and animates everything that I'm looking at. I know that I'm one with it. So as the biblical verse says, as the sacred text says, greater than that which is in me and that which is in the world. See, and I know that which is in the world is that which is in me. I know that I understand that it's one and the same. The spirit that's in me is responsible for creation. Okay, and so when you was thinking like this, in the state of consonant and vibrating like that, you know, you understand that everything is mental. The all is mental. The universe is mental, and that it really is mind over matter. You know, it's like a person trying to shake a habit or advice. Sometimes when I'm speaking to them to really strike a chord and make it hit home, I tell them the same thing. I say the spirit that's in you is greater than everything. The spirit that is in you is responsible for creation. So you are having a problem with cigarettes or maybe even a problem with altering your diet. Should you be vegan, vegetarian? Should you leave me alone? I just let them know plainly that the spirit that is in you is greater than any desire. I said the spirit that is in you is too great to be led by a desire. You see, and so it's the same way. And so I know that the all is mental, the universe is mental, and that it's thought. It's thought. Everything is thought. All that exists is energy. Everything is energy. And so our bodies, we have protons, electrons, and neutrons that flow through us. And our mind and brain is almost like a generator. When it's producing and it's thinking certain thoughts, we are changing and producing a frequency around us that is able to interact with the external environment. So whatever it is that you was thinking, you are producing an energy, and this energy, it goes out, whether it's positive or it's negative. Whatever the focus is on, it magnifies it, and it sets it up to come back to you. And so I just acknowledge that. So I just basically acknowledge that a negative thought could produce just as easily as a positive thought, and a positive thought could produce just as easily as a negative thought. And I've seen through my interactions and my dealings with people that how I am when I act one way and how I am when I'm operating in another way. And I'm gauging and reading the energy and started observing how people respond to me. I know I have the ability to speak, articulate myself. I just had to kind of just evaluate my own life. Said, man, you know, so you attract a lot of people, but then also at the same time you repel a lot of people sometimes with your energy. And so I just kind of chose a medium. And then when we been on the path that I was on so long, it was very intense. It was just kind of time for me to come home, centered a little bit more, grounded a little bit more, project more of a loving, more of a harmonious spirit, really just move off into healing. And when I was getting, one time I had went and got my aura read. I got an aura photo done about almost a couple years ago. When I sat down, I was getting my aura photo done and read, and the man was so impressed with the colors in my aura. You know, he seen green and blue around my arms and stuff. When I got this done, I was in a very contemplative state, a very reflective state, really wanted to transition and knew what I was supposed to be doing. So the reading was only a confirmation of what it is that I knew. But he was like, you're a healer. He said, you're a natural healer. He said, you're supposed to be working with people, healing, dealing with energy. This is who you are, and this is what you're supposed to be doing. He said the pink around your heart. He said, I've been doing aura readings and photos for 3 decades. But he said the pink is a color I only seen in the past 10 years. You know, he said it's not the colors you see often, but he said it's pink. It's associated with the heart, and it represents ascension and transition to going through something. He said in a year or less, this is strictly what you're going to be doing right here. And so everything just lined up. And so I got the book itself, A Thesis of Energy and How It Interrelates. And it's a book that, I wasn't even planning on actually writing. But the energy inside of me, I had to release it and put it out to the people. I figured that it's very helpful, needed information here that people need to know to unveil their full potential and power.
Yeah. And I think that is so true. We're going to talk about that. Floyd, I want to say for those who are just tuning in, either on the radio side or online, you're listening to Conversations Live. Author Floyd Williams is back with us today. We're talking with him not only about his new book, The Book of Self, A Thesis on Energy and How It Interrelates, but also the journey that he's been on as well. It's been a remarkable one to be able to watch. Again, Floyd, you're being an impressive individual, and as you said, you have so many different gifts. One of the things that you talk about, and it's so funny because we hear a lot about this in the sci-fi movies and in the world, but you really made us think about how this is more real than sometimes I think we think about, and that is the connection that we have, the way that we hear about, seeing sparks with someone or feeling sparks around people or getting a vibe from people. What has it been like for you to show people, Floyd, through this book, how real that is, which is why you have to be so respectful of that?
Yeah, energy is everything. All that exists is energy, and one of the laws that they have out there, the people, they call it the law of conservation. And the law of conservation states that energy can never be destroyed. It only changes and it transforms. Okay, and that also defines life. And so that brings us to as above, so below, as within, so without. It's the exact same thing. There's no difference between. There's no difference. And so it's just all about the energy. Okay, and that's what people identify. That's what people remember. People remember very little of what you say. They will remember more of how they felt. They remember more of your presence, more of your vibe, more of your spirit, more of your energy. This is what will resonate with people, and it's also how we remember things. We remember things based on memory, and the memories that we have and how we relate to our memories is based on how we felt at that particular moment when it transpired, right? And in that particular moment when it transpired, what ultimately determines our feeling is the vibration. The vibration, how did it strike us? How did it hit us? So it's the vibration that sets up the memory. And this is how some people could always be affected by something from when they was an infant or when they was a child, all the way to adulthood. Stuff would carry over because it's that memory. It's that memory that's locked in, that vibration that you seemingly remember. You can't shake, and it helps, and it affects your movement. And so what I'm saying is that when a person first enters into the room sometime, a person will exclaim, man, the room just changed. Something different about that person. Man, that person got a good light around them. Grabbing through sayings and phrases like that, they're describing the aura. So everything has an aura, whether it's animate or inanimate, living or not living. Everything has an aura because all that exists is energy, and energy is the underlying and fundamental essence that holds, that keeps together in place what we're looking at as physical. It's what keeps it together, the energy.
Exactly. And I think that's the thing. And I think, with this book, and I have to say, and I've said it to you before, and I'm not just saying it because you're on with us, Floyd, this book I think is so powerful and it's so necessary for us now. And I think for all of us to appreciate, for those who have not had a chance to read it, you can go to CyrusWebbStore.com. You can get it in our Amazon store, and we're going to remind you of that here in just a bit, as well as how you can stay connected with Floyd. So, Floyd, for yourself, social media is one of the ways, of course, that you and I have stayed connected. It's the way that you connect with others. What has that experience been like for you to, even through that platform, to be able to see how your energy and how your presence is being felt?
Okay. Social media is definitely amazing. And once again, everything is energy. And as I'm trying to purposely use examples that I speak in illustration, because that's one of the things. That's one of the reasons that makes the book itself, with Thesis and Energy, so important and vital, is because it's a book designed for the layman or the scholar. Whether you think you know everything or you absolutely know you don't know anything or that much, this book is for you. You will read this book and you're going to walk away enriched, educated, equipped, and you're going to know everything. This book is a concise, masterful read, clear read, and the so-called mysteries and things that people hold and try to keep secret and regard as being esoteric, all of it is in this book, and it's made plain for everybody to get it. Okay, and so, but the thing is, though, this book right here is about unveiling our full potential and allowing us as human beings to have our power and truly knowing ourselves. And the big premise of the book is the intuition, because this is where we often go wrong at, is not listening to our intuition. Okay, and as the earth spins on the axis is the invisible line that the earth spins and rotates around. Okay, and for us as human beings, our axis is to be our intuition. Our intuition is our axis. This is what we're supposed to revolve and spin around and spin towards.
Gotcha.
Okay, and the intuition is not nothing freakish. It's not your intuition is what people refer to as the first mind. So it's a lot of things that people say every day, but they don't quite know what it is because they don't call it intuition. They don't refer to it as but we speak about these things all the time, are in tune with it, just don't know what it is. So so all these powers and things that people look at as gifts, mediumship, clairvoyance, clairsentience, right, clairaudience, all of this stuff is gifts and things that we naturally have, but the way society and where it is being socially engineered and moved away from it, so to the point where we're no longer conscious of it. And so the way to become empowered by the Spirit, is to be able to align your mind up with it and just aware of it. You can activate a lot of gifts and a lot of power that's latent inside of you just merely by being conscious of it, merely by being aware of it. It's power in being aware. And in the last, and part of the last question that I was speaking on, I wanted to mention in relation to the importance of the aura, so they can really get a good concept of it, is when we deal with the earth, right? The earth has many different layers to it. Okay, you have the lithosphere, the asthenosphere, okay, and then you have the upper mantle, the lower mantle, okay, and you have the outer core, and in the Earth's core isn't solid. It is primarily iron and nickel, okay, and it's from this big piece of metal that's in the Earth that it creates what is called magnetism. The electro is considered to be coming from the Earth or space or the heavenly realm. So that's the combination of electromagnetism. But the Earth has an aura itself because of the way that the composition of it is at the core. The Earth has a solar plexus. We have a solar plexus, right? And so it's from this solar plexus, just like from the Earth's solar plexus, the Earth emits an aura. It has a invisible protective field around it. And this Earth's aura, invisible protective field, protects it from the solar flares and cosmic storms, from incoming debris, incoming attacks, incoming energy. It protects it, it eats it up, burns it up before it comes into its atmosphere. And it's the same way with us. When our aura is good and strong, it repels stuff, right? We keep people away because of the aura, and it's the same way. If our aura isn't strong, or if our aura is weak, if our aura have holes in it, right? People perceive that crack in our defense. That's how they find that entryway in. So being positive, keeping your energy high, eating good, thinking good, positive activities, refreshing your mind and thoughts, all this stuff is good for keeping up your aura. Music is good for keeping up your aura. Our aura is our protective field. And very important. So all this energy, and this is how we relate and how we connect. And when people always talk about dogs, when you see a dog, when you see a pet, don't be afraid, don't show no fear, right? Because the dogs and animals are way more sensitive than we are. Their ESP, their extrasensory perception, is way more sensitive than we are. See, and so they pick up the fear through the vibration. Even though you're standing right there before them, you're standing still. You know what I'm saying? You may be struck. You know what I'm saying? You may be handicapped. You know what I'm saying? You may be handicapped from fright, but you're standing still and you're motionless. Your vibration that you are sending off is that you are afraid. And it discerns that it has to prepare itself, and so it attacks you, right? So it bites you. So, and this is the whole story with Solomon, being able to talk with the animals. This is the story of Dr. Doolittle, being able to speak and communicate with the animals, right? It just represents the vibration and energy that they give off that sets everything around them in their environment at peace and at ease, and so it can communicate with them. Same thing with meditation. When you meditate, you create a resonance where you could tune into certain vibrations and you could enter into other fields. You see, this is what A Wrinkle in Time is about. You know, A Wrinkle in Time is about entering into another field through altering your vibration and creating a field of resonance. This is what meditation does. This is why the scripture says, be still and know that I am God. Because even through silence, even in absolute silence, it's still a vibration. You see, and when you meet that vibration, you can tune into that vibration. You can receive the information. Vibration is information, and information is vibration.
Well, it's a lot for us to be able to look at, Floyd, and definitely something for us to be able to consider and to discuss, but definitely want our audience to be able to get the book for themselves. Again, the book of Self, A Thesis on Energy and How It Interrelates, is available through our friends at Amazon.com. You all can get it there. And also, Floyd, let our audience know, how can they stay connected with you and kind of keep up with your journey online?
Man, you can stay connected with me through Facebook. I'm on Facebook as Floyd Williams. So you'll see the book cover as the cover photo or profile photo. The book itself, A Thesis of Energy, How It Interrelates. I have another page called The Holy Black Papyrus. And you can also email me at floydwilliams14@gmail.com. And every time you see a rainbow in the sky, you're going to think about me. You're going to think about the aura man. You're going to think about the light and the power that's within yourself. You know, that aura consists of 7 colors. You know, and those 7 colors are the same colors that's in a rainbow. So whenever you see that rainbow, you're going to think about me. You're going to think about yourself. That's how you stay connected with me. Primarily through staying connected with yourself. See, because it's all one. But in real life, in the mundane world, you can find me on Facebook. You know, email me at floydwilliams14@gmail.com. The book is available on Amazon.com and it's on Lulu.com.
Right. And we'll make sure to put both of those links here, Floyd. Floyd, congratulations to you again. Thank you so much for the time, and thank you so much for joining us here.
No, I thank you for having me. I'm grateful for the audience for listening, giving me the energy. And I close out just sending you guys peace, light, love, and positive energy. And, encourage you guys, no matter how busy your day is, no matter what, create time for yourself. Take some deep breaths. Always take some time throughout your day, no matter how fast and how hectic it is, to create a moment for yourself to reconnect with your breath. I don't care if it's for no more than 1 minute. That 1 minute is you centering and grounding and connecting with your breath, your energy and your spirit is everything. And it will change your world, to change your day and mood, to give you enough to prepare and make it through. So that's very important right there. So with that, appreciate you guys. Love.
Thank you, Floyd. Appreciate that. And we appreciate your audience for tuning in to another great segment of Conversations Live. If you all came in late, you missed part of the conversation with Floyd, don't worry. Thanks to our online friends, you all can catch the replay right after we go off the air. The link is already available through our social media sites. So head over to Facebook.com/Cyrus Webb or go to Twitter.com/Cyrus Webb. If you click on the link there, you can listen to the show completely for free and share with your friends from there too. Until next time, I'm your host, Cyrus Webb, saying, as always, enjoy your day, enjoy your life, enjoy your world. Make sure you take out time to enjoy some good music as well as a great book. Thank you all for choosing Conversations Live today. You all make it a great one.